Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
All right, welcome to the KVJ After the Show Podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show Podcast.
So you got your hair now kind of pulled back. A little bit different look. There's so many things you can do with it there, Bert.
Just doing some bullshit.
He's a versatile woman.
Oh, yeah, he is. No doubt about that.
He's got that banana clip going today.
Ever since I stepped into the world of the banana clip, a whole new world.
Yeah?
Don't you dare close your
I'm
thighs.
terrible at the rubber band. Fumble fuck hands over here. There's no way I can. I try to do it. I try to triple knot that thing.
You can't because you got that bitch ass grip.
I got that bag. I do have a bitch ass grip.
It's hard to tie a really tight ponytail. You have to have, first of all, smaller hands, I think. The bigger your hamburger hands, the worse it is.
I actually have small hands.
But they're not like small in girth.
They're just small. I kind of have. I got that bitch ass hands.
Bah. Yeah. Let me see the back of your head real quick, see what you're doing with that. How's that?
Yeah, it's that
Oh,
clip.
okay, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just you pull back and just clip it.
It doesn't matter. No matter what I do,
Clip.
motherfuckers are gonna say something.
Clip stolen from Mags.
Yeah, this is a Magnolia
yeah?
clip.
Yeah, she doesn't
That's
know.
great. You guys can trade accessories now.
Hashtag hair problems.
Yeah.
Hashtag sisters.
We were
That's
just
fun.
talking about when we cut it off, what we're all going to do. I think Denny's might, I don't know if I should tell, because I don't want to blow up his spot, but we're all going to do something fun with it.
Are you going to cut it?
Eventually we'll cut it. Yeah, I'll cut it.
Is there a timetable on that? Because I know you guys did the reason why you grew your hair out was you wanted to do a photo shoot for this album that you created.
I think we're going to probably do, because they haven't cut their hair yet, so their hair's really long as well. I think we're just going to take another photo, do another photo thing.
When is this album getting released?
I don't know. No one gives a fuck, so whatever.
Oh, that's not true.
I don't know. A couple months maybe.
No one cares about my passion projects. I
my
actually
dad-
would listen to it.
My dad cares. Yeah, in a couple of months probably. A month or two. We're trying
Are
to,
you done?
a couple more things we got to do, and then we're trying to get the Weird and Whatever studio ready to go because
Oh, yeah.
I know people have been asking when that's coming back. We're supposed to start that again next week, but it might be on the Zoom kind of a thing.
Okay.
But it still will
Getting
be.
there.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Okay. That's good to know. Got several things to crack into here today. Some of your emails. This one from Laura said, hey, if I remember correctly, Jaybird runs better in heels than he does in shoes. I know you tried for world record Wednesday today, him running with a tray for 100 meters. Maybe you should try it again next week in heels to see if he can do better in stilettos.
That actually gave me an idea. Is there any high heel world records? Because they are right. I do rock a
You
heel
do.
pretty good.
Yeah, you do.
For a man, you run fast in heels.
I do. Interesting. I'm glad they said that. Thank you.
Yeah, you have to bring back that drag race. I know
Yes.
Pride Fest will be coming up for too long. It's about that time of year.
It is. I don't know if they're doing it. I would have heard about it if they are, because
Oh,
it usually
really?
happens in March, and I haven't heard squat.
I think we might have done this one, but it's the fastest 100 meter in high heels. Did we do that before? Because that is something we could do next week.
That sounds like the drag race we did.
Yeah.
But that's I'm wiser now. I'm in my prime.
Yeah, I think we did do it before. I think we tried that exact record.
We had several drag queens, eat it.
Yeah.
Fall and skinned up.
Not Bird, not this drag
flesh.
queen.
Oh, it was scary.
You want to do that shit?
Yeah.
You like that?
I'm cool with that.
Mama, you bring me some good heels?
Yeah.
My heels broke.
I'm going to go buy you some. I'm going to go to the big girl store and get you some.
Girl, you know I need it.
Yeah.
I got small ass hands, but I got plumpy feet.
Plumpy, huh?
I got a real fat foot.
Keither says he'll break an ankle. Fuck that, Keither. No, I won't. Not in heels. Not in heels. I'm a different man in heels.
I can get you like a boot, too. If you want a high heel boot.
They'll get me on that. The boot, it's got to be the heel.
Oh, it's got to be a
gotta
heel. Okay,
yeah.
all right. You're a man of rules over there.
Well, you got to do it right.
Did get an email from Cooper. He said, I do notice, though, that when there's a bit that's recorded outside the studio, like today's World Record Wednesday, there's a big lag on the video from KVJ TV that prevents the audience from watching Bird in real time. Let me know if I should send an official letter requesting a bigger budget for better out-of-the-studio streaming. Also hopeful that, so I don't know what the deals are. Yeah, that's why
It's so disheartening.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't do the play-by-play today, because as he was running it on my video, he hadn't even started yet. So
well,
it's
the other
crazy.
The thing that sucks too is Denny. We're down people because of COVID. Denny's is filming. He's on the air commentating. I mean, we need more people down there. It was also having shitty signal service. It's a big chance when we do something live like that, and people always ask, "Why don't you do more live stuff outside?" Shit like that happens, and it sucks.
Yeah.
I think it very hard.
Yep. So yeah, we'd like to get there. Hopefully, the thing that would be great and what always helps us is if we get numbers and if we can get our sales department to sell it. Then when you start making money on stuff, then that's when they will put all kinds of money into what we do over the radio, because that's the bread and butter, makes money. But if KVJ TV starts making more money, then things like that, they'll pay for the upgrades, because it is a good bit of cash. But if it's not making any money right now, they're like, what's the point? But, we keep getting those numbers up. So that's why go to YouTube, pass it along, share it, tell your friends, subscribe if you haven't while you're there. So if we can continue to grow those, and I can say, hey, you've seen the numbers on KVJ TV, and we're selling it and making money off of it, then they'll give us money so that we can have better live streaming.
People always say, how can we help you guys out? If you're listening right now on our YouTube and you haven't subscribed, please just subscribe. Hit that. That actually helps us out greatly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know I sound like I'm dancing for my tips over here.
No, if you hit the subscribe button, it really does help us.
And then the alert. I know it's a lot. It's annoying.
Mm-hmm. Got a thought here about the KVJ draft, which will be coming up again on tomorrow's show. They said, just a thought, maybe it should be considered a rule where you can't Google or look up your picks for the KVJ draft. The draft is my favorite bit currently, but I feel it often gets ruined by Seuss' Google picks.
Damn! The heartless champ.
The point of the game to me is that you guys all make your picks mostly based on your opinion, and then let the listener pick whose list you vibe with the most. If Seuss just goes and looks up top songs of the 2000s and picks the top 3, of course he's going to win every time, because you guys aren't doing that. I like the game to be about y'all's opinions. That's what makes it fun.
I'm with that person. I'm going to stop playing for what I think the people want. Start playing what's in my heart.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I do a little mix of both. In fact, I usually comment on that, where it's, I go with ones that I know are recognized as being big to try to get a little bit of a win. But when there's one that's there, I'm like, I'm feeling this. I'm going to add this. But, every time I've done that, I've not won.
Is it about winning, though? Can you go to bed at night when you win? Not all the time, but
yeah,
you can't go to bed.
Actually, I noticed on days I win the KVJ draft, I do sleep better. That's a documented fact.
I take my losses and wins very hard as well here in the KVJ universe.
Yeah. So I get what you're saying, but I don't even know how we'd enforce that.
It'd be tough, too, because poor Seuss, he is but a baby, so he doesn't have a lot of the depth of knowledge of some of these categories that we go into. Like, he can't draw from personal experience because he was 2.
Is he in the room right now?
No.
Then fuck him.
Yeah. Somebody today. Andrew had thrown out the idea of getting a random KVJ Nationer involved in the KVJ draft.
Ooh, I like that.
You can. I will tell you, because I do typically, when we do have a draft, I look up a lot of stuff. I'm like, okay, what is really popular? What do I really like? Did I get everything? It does seem that, there is, whatever it's Ranker or some of those sites, that it does seem like the person who chooses that. So it does take a little bit of research and, kind of going with some of the norms. But yeah, maybe we could do that. Maybe.
Yeah,
we already got like 5 people involved. It's the only thing. It takes it a little bit longer.
I think we should add an extra layer to really muddy it up.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of already slightly murky. Yeah, I think one more just might people be like, all right, I'm out. It's going on too long.
Yeah.
Going on too long. Tom from Coral Springs says, didn't know Kevin was doing some modeling, but I saw him on a product for a cooling towel in the store.
Oh, that looks like you.
Yeah. How about that?
Don't you think?
Yeah, the guy's a little younger.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Virginia's got to get a little.
He don't have that little bit of gray in his beard like I do.
He don't. He's probably about 10 years younger, but look, that you 10 years ago.
Yeah, maybe.
I
Maybe
think
I missed
you-
my mark as a model. It's just,
I mean, I was digging through old KVJ photos, and if you want to talk about missed your mark as a model, I've got a picture I'm going to show you, and you look like a damn supermodel. Where
Who,
is
me?
it? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this is you from back in the day.
Oh,
Let me see.
Oh, look at that.
What am I in what is that? Am I wearing a suit or
We
what the hell
did
is
like
going
the
on?
most eligible bachelor or what did we do? We did something. There was you and there was a bunch of hot guys.
Now, was that before or after he decapitated one of them?
You think he looks murderous?
He looks a little murderous there.
I think you look like a supermodel.
Was that when the Kevin Ralston kind of did it for you?
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but
Okay.
the face. I mean, he's got those high cheekbones.
He's
Yeah.
a beautiful man.
Whoa.
Even better looking woman.
Would back in the day, was there ever a time you'd look at Virginia Kevin and go, damn, she's a dime piece, damn.
I saw him checking me out this week.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that-
still to this day.
That was the worst. I checked out Virginia on accident. I'm like, who is that? It's either a picture or it was at an event from behind. And I go,
Oh,
fuck,
yeah.
it's Virginia, fuck.
Uh-huh.
Drink it in.
I was so
Yeah.
bummed out. I visibly said it and you heard it.
You visibly had a bone piece.
Don't disrespect yourself like that.
Let me see. Got an email here, and it is currently the top trending story. I guess there's a reason why the news is going with it, but this is kind of a wrinkle that I hadn't seen.
What?
From Taryn. This is about the Dr. Seuss debate that is going on. Still #1 trending topic all over news yesterday. Stuff we're still getting comments, texts about, and all that stuff. People just love talking about this story that came up. But she had sent in, because as much as I heard it yesterday, everybody was just, all the debates and everything that I saw in the news, of course, you know, I go with, I kind of check out both the networks. I got my Fox on the right, I got my CNN on the left, so I always kind of see what they're doing and kind of get the comparison. And they couldn't get off the whole cancel culture thing of everything going on there. And that was really their whole point of it. And I came in here today without even knowing what the... I'm like, shouldn't the story be about what the heck they pulled? I mean, honestly, the coverage on it yesterday was so terrible because I came in here and I had to go to other sources to really get the essence of it, because one, what was really kind of left out was that it was Dr. Seuss Enterprises themselves that decided to stop. I didn't get that.
They did it. They didn't.
Right.
They didn't. No one else did it. They did it.
All the yappy faces on right and left news networks was just yelling about cancel culture and how they're canceling Dr. Seuss. And I'm like, okay, wait, what's going on?
You can cancel yourself.
That's the only thing I got. Yeah, I didn't. That was not in any of the stories I'd seen. There was Dr. Seuss Enterprises that had pulled the 6 stories.
From what I understand, Dr. Seuss has been getting, like, the brand of Dr. Seuss has been getting pressure about this for a long time, and
Yeah.
they finally decided to do it. But it was people putting pressure on them to do it. That's why it was a thing.
Yeah. I really wish I could have heard that yesterday, because I just felt like I probably watched the story for 40 minutes yesterday and didn't really get the essence of the story. That's the thing that really does kind of suck about the news.
And
where,
you also didn't see the illustrations of the specific pages in question.
Yeah.
That would be nice too, because maybe if we saw it, we would go, oh, yeah, that is a little racist. Yeah, I get it.
all I got was fighting about cancel culture and what's canceled next, and that was the whole thing. And I finally am like, well, okay, I'm kind of tired of hearing about this. And then I came in here like going, y'all didn't even give me the damn story. The hell's news for, man? That's crazy. So Taryn had sent in here some of the stuff about did Dr. Seuss draw racist cartoons? And she had pulled up some stuff, and I didn't even realize that this was a talking point about Dr. Seuss. But the ones that people had sent in earlier today, they're, some of the racial stuff about Chinese, or some Chinese characters and illustrations that they had done, the traditional, some slant eyes kind of stuff was even mentioned. And then he did some illustrations. This is one from June of 1929 from Judge Magazine with characters in blackface. So he had done that. And they had then talked to, it was his stepdaughter, I believe it was, and she was more in favor of not banning the books or stopping the printing of them, but putting warnings on them. And then she had said about Dr. Seuss himself that they never had a hateful heart or acted in a bigoted manner. And I did see some debate as to whether or not he had on that. So, I think the thing about whatever it is everybody wants to call it, the cancel culture, other people are like, look, it's just about accountability. I think it's good to know about these things, and then you got to make your own decisions as to, do I care to continue to support something like that? And there are going to be things that, and the point that they were making is things that are going to be said today that we are making that in 50 years from now will be deemed offensive, and, how will history look at us, was the whole debate about it. So it's a hot debate that I don't think anybody can figure out, but to me it's a case-by-case basis. And we talked earlier, the Muppets are putting warning labels on their stuff saying, hey, you know what, some of this stuff doesn't age too well. Like we said, there's KVJ stuff that 10 to 15 years ago, I know a couple words, terms that I used to use that I had listeners come to me and said, hey, you use this word, let me explain to you why it's a hurtful word. And after I heard that, I was like, I don't want to hurt anybody.
Right.
And so I took those words out. And so to me, if we can calmly discuss stuff and you can, say, hey, look, those depictions, blackface, this is hurtful. Let me help you understand why. Hey, these drawings of these Chinese people, this is hurtful. Let me tell you why.
Did the Muppets take out the Kermit circle jerk scene?
Oh, Kermit.
It was him and Fozzie and Gonzo. You should see. You think Gonzo's nose is big? You see his dick.
It's shaped the exact same,
but bigger.
Also, let me see some other stuff that I had seen. People were saying on the other debate that's going on with paid, unpaid internships and whatnot. Somebody said about the internship, people who aren't well off and struggle are hungry for success. Taking away internships is taking the opportunity away from somebody who wants a chance, paid or unpaid. I worked an internship, unpaid, and proved myself and got hired. People who struggle don't think it's unfair. I was a full-time student, did an internship, and worked part-time. It's about being consistent and having a clear vision of what I wanted. So there's, continuing debate about that. And somebody had sent me something yesterday on Twitter where somebody had made a point against it and said, this is great that we have gotten rid of unpaid internships. And I said, well, that's one person's opinion on that. I think it was Engineer Keith that had sent it to me. If it will pull it up. Yeah, this guy had said, end all unpaid internships. If you can't afford to pay your workers, you don't deserve their work, a CEO. And I just responded, I said, this guy got his way. And I said, now there are no more radio internships. Honestly, not sure I'd be in radio without 2 unpaid internships. And, I paid for everything that I had at that time. Food, board, all that kind of stuff.
But your payment was the schooling you got. Basically, you got an education on radio. That's how I looked at it.
Yeah.
I learned about how to do radio, how to do commercials, how to do all that kind of stuff. And I wasn't getting paid.
Yeah. And and now radio doesn't have internships because it wasn't something where we just don't have the ability to pay for already our industry's downsizing. Our regular
employees.
Yeah, we don't. We're cutting employees, so we don't have, so they don't do unpaid internships, and that was my point. Saying without that, I don't know if I would have done radio. I know the doors that it opened, and it got me to where I am. And if I didn't have that opportunity to do that, I understand what they're saying, that maybe it benefits somebody of privilege. But my argument is, my thought on it, the way I saw it, and the money that I had, I didn't have the money either. I made it work myself. And I think if somebody truly wanted it like I wanted it, and you would be willing to live in your car, not to say that's ideal, but welcome to life. It's not ideal that, people who don't have privilege still could benefit from an unpaid internship, and you got the choice to take it or don't.
Keep in mind, too, a lot of people get everything twisted when they hear the word internship. It's different for every industry, and we're speaking on radio internships. It's different than a political internship. If you're an intern for somebody out there in D.C. or something, interns out there, they can get paid. And sometimes I feel like people are arguing about different types of internships. If you're doing a radio internship back in the day, you had to be registered in college. So you were paying.
It was like a class.
You're paying. You weren't. It wasn't like you were not working. You weren't getting paid for your work. You paid for a class, and your class was the radio internship. So I think a lot of times people get it confused, thinking, oh, interns just got treated badly. No, that was a paid class. And the people that are at the radio station, their job is to teach you shit.
Yeah. It's
not about just going to get coffee. In fact, I never liked that. I thought that's insulting to do to people, go get coffee. That's not what an internship's about. Our job is to teach them something so they
when
can go
I first
out.
got into radio, though, the rules were so loose and the atmosphere was so loose, you didn't even need to be in school. There wasn't even a college degree or college credit requirement. If you went in there and you showed them that you had the fire in your belly and you wanted to do it, they would let you do it.
Yeah, the rules are definitely lax back in olden times when you grew up. Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Back in the 50s.
Yeah, it was a class that I had, and I got college credit for it. And, honestly, my one internship, I left when every day they just handed me a stack of tickets and said, hey, drive these to Jones Beach. And after a while, I'm like, I'm just a courier service. And I had already felt like I'd received all the networking I needed and everything I get out of it. And I had enough credit and I blew out of there and got, because, I did feel like after a while they weren't putting the effort into trying to show me anything new, and I wasn't learning anything new, so I left.
To your point, when you struggled and you lived in a car, you're able to do things in life if you struggle like that. But some people just don't want to struggle. But yeah, you're able to get it together and make something. If you struggle, like it sucks, like you're saying.
But I'm glad I had that opportunity.
Yeah.
Like I said, that opportunity that I had then is not available to people today. So if you wanted that, then you're not going to get that. So that was, my take on it. And so look, I just said, hey, look, I got a different opinion than that guy. And you're right. I think industry to industry, there might be some just cheap ass businesses that are trying to get free labor and they're never going to pay anybody. And there may be something that does need to be addressed with that. But I'm just speaking on the industry I know and the internships that I did.
This is one where if you did an internship and you busted your balls and you really learned stuff and you were a go-getter, you most times got a gig.
You would get a gig. It may not be your dream gig, but that's part of that you got to make your mark.
You would get an entry-level gig, but it would be your foot in the door and your chance to prove yourself and be paid peanuts at first, but show people that, hey, I'll be here 7 days a week. I'll grind.
Yeah.
And, they like that.
People do like that, and it does not go unnoticed. A lot of times people that do that end up doing good things. They always do.
Yeah.
If the boss sees you working really hard, the boss loves it.
And isn't that
It's
weird?
kind of simple.
Isn't that weird?
It's kind of simple. If the boss knows that you're a team player and you're grinding and you're trying to make it happen and you're great for the company, they're not going to let you go and they're just going to keep promoting you.
True. And Angie had said, wasn't Seuss an intern? He was.
He
came in.
was.
He was of pretty much the last crop. And look, he came in here, and that's usually what it did. We've had so many interns that it was a proving ground. You could come in, and if you proved yourself, like I'd said with the KVJ TV, if you can prove that you're worthy of the money, then they may find a position for you like we did for Seuss. We created one, and now all of a sudden it's led to a job.
Well,
Yeah.
Thumbelina has a job here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
She was an intern.
I can list at least 10 KVJ interns in our career that gotten a job in the industry after.
Yeah. And that was
And I'm
the
proud
point
of that.
it. Yeah.
And there's a lot of morning shows that can't say that.
So from my perspective of what internships are and what they can be,
Career starters.
it's nice to have that opportunity to do it. And like I'd said, because of it now, that opportunity is gone. There will not be a new generation of Suits or Thumbelinas.
I mean, Annabelle did stuff. Intern Christina did I mean, there's Meeks did stuff.
Frances, my girlfriend Franny.
There you go.
She started as an intern. Now she's on the air.
Yeah, so that will be interesting to see what happens. Now I think in radio they're trying to figure out where to hire people, and it's really social media stars now. So if you want to get a job doing this, in fact, who knows if they're going to do podcast or something like that.
Make a TikTok and get a bunch of followers, and then that's how you maybe get a gig.
Maybe, but I mean, just because you have a bunch of, I mean, I'm not trying to be a shit face here. I'm just saying, just because you have a bunch of followers doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be living in a mansion and having all this stability. You still got to grind.
Yeah,
you're right.
Fuck.
I agree, Bird.
Who knows? They say that South Florida had a warmer than normal winter for the 10th consecutive year. They say average winter temperatures were 1 to 2 degrees warmer than the 30-year average for South Florida. And we were actually at a point there where we weren't going to actually have that warmer year, and then it got hot all of a sudden. Remember, we had some cold days in there? It was actually a little chilly there for a while.
I like it when they mix in a few cold days.
Yeah, they say Fort Lauderdale had its 17th warmest winter since record-keeping began in 1912. And Fort Lauderdale had 41 warmer days, defined as 80 degrees or higher compared to the average of 34. So it was 7 days a week, basically, of warmer weather that got us that mark. And they say that with the warming temperatures, they see that the Gulf Stream seems to be weakening, and that could bring stronger hurricanes. Yeah,
oh, great. All right.
Yeah. Not going to be long now, huh?
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
No, I don't want no hurricane season.
Yeah, I'm trying to drink it in. I'm enjoying what we got left. We got another 2 months, basically, of this nicer weather.
I want to give a shout out, too. We forgot one intern that's important. Intern Curtis. He's the producer of Mo and Sally.
Curtis.
He was actually one of our assistant producers at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Heather was an
intern.
Heather was, she was a producer at one point.
A long time, yeah. Look at her. She's still employed in the business doing it. So, there you go. All right.
You killed them all, so hope you're happy.
Who killed them?
Well, I mean, this whole new thing of no interns killed all the future Heathers and Curtises and Suitses, and you killed them all.
Yeah, people think I was an intern, and I actually wasn't.
No, you
were never an
wasn't.
intern.
Yeah, I was, I guess, hired as a producer. Was that the first?
Well, what had happened was we had started out, it was... we only had, when we first started at Wild 95.5, I was given one salary. And that was it. They're like, are you just going to do the show by yourself? I said, I'd really like to have a co-host. So I basically paid Virginia out of pocket. So I split up my salary a little bit to pay her. And then when we started to get some ratings, then, we had an intern. And then eventually that became a paid position. So we had been on for 5 years, and we had built up Virginia's salary. Then we were able to get another salary for... they call it a sidekick position. And so when you stepped in, the other interns before, you were the first person who was paid to be in that position. Yes, and that's how radio works. You have to come in, prove it, make money on it, and then they'll throw money at it.
Did Todd not get paid?
I don't think Todd was paid, no.
I think Todd did get paid, but it was little.
At the end. I think he started as an intern,
Yeah.
and then
He did
we got
get
him.
paid.
He
I think
did.
it was
because I
hourly.
ended up adapting some of his salary when I first.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
because that's one of the reasons I think he left was because he wanted more money, and we were
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, it's not up to us. The company won't come off any more cash. And I think he thought he was going to be able to use that as a bargaining chip, and the company
Yeah.
was like, nope, sorry, you want more money? There's the door.
That's why when you call somebody's bluff.
Yeah.
Then some dick came along named Jaybird.
And it does. It takes a little time to build things up.
It does.
But I think the argument is just opportunity
Yes.
and wanting to have that opportunity.
And a chance and a foot in the door to show people, hey, this is what it would be like if I worked for you.
Yep. Let me see. Other stuff that is going on here. Let me see what else we got. I think that's pretty much about it with all
really?
the emails. Yeah.
2 more minutes?
Kind of curious. I do want to see where we are with the fake plant argument that had happened earlier.
I looked at the end of the show. And
did.
it was in my favor. I was up by like 10% of people that liked the fake plant.
Okay, because Virginia was giving you a hard time about them
They look so
that you
cheap.
have at your
I mean,
place. In fact, here's again
Whatever,
the
Virginia.
photo. If you're looking at that on KVJ TV,
yours look
there's
nice
one.
as far as fake
one.
plants go.
Because they were expensive fake plants. I didn't fuck around. I went to the very fancy Home Goods
But why get fake plants when you can get real ones?
because I didn't feel like taking care of them, and
Yeah, you're in the clear. 57% love them, 43% hate them. That's where the numbers are on them.
because I forget. I'm forgetful sometimes, and I don't want to forget because they'll end up dying. I don't have to worry about them. It's not like it's chewy. You know what I mean? I can't pet a plant. I mean, I guess I can. I can snuggle with a plant, but I think people are really gonna think I'm going through something.
This took a left turn. Do you
Yeah.
need to be snuggled?
Yeah, come snuggle me, Virginia. Rub some of your witch powers on me.
So there you go. So you won on that, Jaybird.
Yeah, in your face.
Yeah.
Weotch.
It's a shallow. It's a barely one.
I'll take any fucking win that's out
Any
there.
win you can get, my man. Just got to take it in life. Make it happen. All right, it's going to do our Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see y'all then. Have a great one. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.